Welcome to Marketing Monday. I'm Paula Williams with ABCI, and today we have a question from Frank. And Frank says, should we even bother with print advertising anymore? And that's a good question, especially considering the podcast that John and I just published this week about some of the different case studies that we did involving digital marketing and print marketing and so on. And I totally get where you're coming from. Print marketing can be expensive, and it also can be hard to prove, whether or not it's working. It's not as easy to see the numbers, like you can with digital media, where you see how many people are watching, you see how many people are liking, all of those things. So once again, if you're just joining us, I'm Paula Williams with ABCI. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs medium, whatever it is that you're feeling today. And yeah, we're talking about a question from Frank. Should we even bother with print marketing anymore? So I have 3 points that I wanted to make really quickly for Frank. Number one is, if print media is working for you now, by all means keep doing it, right? A lot of the decision makers in aviation are very traditional people. You look at the demographics of that group of people. They are college educated males, 45 plus years old. Those are the kinds of people that like print media, and they consider it to be more credible than digital media. So if your print ads are already working for you and they continue to work for you, then by all means continue to do them. If you're asking because they're falling off, you're not alone. There have been some changes in the number of people reading those aviation magazines over the years. And, so those are things that you'll see changing. So some of the circulation numbers and other kinds of things may be going down over the last few years. So check the media kit. If you're an advertiser in a magazine, they should send you a media kit every year with their circulation, let you know who is reading the magazine, if they're in your right demographics, if it's going up or down or backwards or sideways. So for some of those aviation magazines, the readership has been going down a little bit in the last few years, but don't worry about that. If you're still getting calls, by all means keep your advertising, right? Because you only need 10 of the right people, in some cases, to make your year and to make enough sales to do things well. So thing number one, if it's working for you, absolutely keep doing your print advertising. If it is not working for you, I want you to consider one thing. Do you have a good call to action in your advertisement, right? Does it just say, call me if you're interested in this airplane, or call me if you're interested in this component or this service? A lot of the people that read your magazine might be interested, but they're not at the point where they're willing to talk with you yet. So what you want to do is give them some reason to contact you. You can give them a tip sheet, you can give them a checklist, you can give them a list of questions you should ask before you buy a whatever it is. There's lots of things that you can do so that you get those people who are maybe not ready to make the purchase decision yet, and they can go online and they can request your tip sheet or your checklist or your list of questions, or watch your video or do your demo, join your webinar, any number of things like that. That will help you do 2 things. One, track the people, who are responding to your ad so that you know how effective your ad is being. Number 2, it will also help you collect contact information for those people that may not be ready yet. Because in a lot of cases it will take 8 months, 10 months, some amount of time in between when they first become interested in your product and service and when they're ready to make the purchase, right? So you want to keep in touch with them during that time. Cool? All right, so that's thing number 2. Thing number 3 is, if your print ad is absolutely not working, then by all means do something else. You've got lots of other alternatives, lots of things that you can do. And in this week's webinar, we went into a lot more depth with this, John and I did. But this slide in particular, if you can see it, every advertising medium has its pros and cons. And so if you are into, and I'm going to put a link to this in the comments, but every media has its pros and cons. So if print is not working for you, you've got lots of other alternatives that probably do what you don't want it to, that will cover the weaknesses. that print is not covering for you. So those are the 3 quick points. You know, 1, if your print advertising is working for you, absolutely keep doing it. 2, if it is not working for you, consider your call to action. See if you can strengthen that in some way, right? And number 3 is if it's absolutely not working for you, then for God's sake, stop spending money on it, right? And do something else. So thank you, Frank, for your question. If you send us a question and we use it on the air, we will send you our social media guide for aviation professionals. So that is I think it is a $17.95 value. You can get it on Amazon if you would like one anyway, or you can simply request one when you submit your question, and we'll send you one if we use your question on the air. So thank you, Frank. And thank you everyone for joining us. Let us know if we can help you with any aviation marketing problems. And if you have a question, of course, you can enter it in the comments below or send me an email. And if you want to be anonymous, just let us know and we'll make up a name for you. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.